And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Got it. Turkey's the mark. What we got? What we got? What we got? Go, go. Delta. Ready.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. He'll look to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. A breakaway for Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Green 18. It's a swerve ball. Switch. Yeah, Liz.
A handoff to Spiller to begin the drive. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a toss to Spiller. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, wahoo!
To throw is Rodgers. It's complete to Diggs. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's a party now. It's a party now. He's crashed.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Jump out. Hey, high 7.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Room here to run. 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
26. Hey, 26. Hey, Charlie.
Rodgers now on first down. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Call that a very strong gain of 24. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. This is Spiller. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Here's Spiller. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now it's Lindsey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
At the 15-yard line.
Let's go. Can Lobo. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
A give to Kamara running right. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Set.
that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
So the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to try and throw. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready. Watch 50. Check the out. Yeah.
Ready. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
First down, New Orleans.
Check. Mike 50.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And some room to run now. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he slings one that's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage.
Here we go. Set. 8. Read. Ready, go.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's Kamara, trying to run for it. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a 43-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. The big fella. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that comes. Oh, wide open, complete, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
First down, New Orleans.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the ground, this is Kamara. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2nd and 5. It's Williams on the catch. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18.
17 yards. And the Saints first down.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 15 lining, 15 lining. Jet. Ready, go.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Okay, great. 34's a wreck. He's coming. Check in. Danny. Ready.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. They'll drop the throw. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. 78 yards. And the Vikings are able to clear a bit. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now...
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
25, check 25, check 25. Get 300, get 300. Hey, Alpha.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's caught. And he'll get in. And they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They run it again with Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the first down in the process.
First down, New Orleans.
Got it.
This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10.
57, Mike 57. I'm coming.
Back to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. A nice pickup there, 19 yards, and they're set up better for 3rd. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here we go.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready. 60, Pittsburgh. Yes. Go. 57, Mike 57.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again on the ground, again it's Spiller. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Rodgers to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Trips over 50. Hey, you block over here. Bud. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Back north. Check 6 guys. Hey, black.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Big hold to the 30. Yeah, he'll find Hall. And finally brought down at the 43. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back, They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
A very solid gain of 27. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Rodgers. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now, it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Kamara. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Looking to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. They go play action here on 1st down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. He's got Smith here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown.
Here we go, 50.
On play action, now Rodgers. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Well, Charles, it's one thing to